Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have the obligatory top 5 AK video for you coming today. More specifically, the top 5 AKs in my collection. I get questions like this a lot. What are my favorite guns that I own? So I figured I would go ahead and make that video for you. I sat down and really thought about it. Out of my 20 plus AKs that I own, if I could only keep 5, which ones would I keep and why? Like, I need to have really specific reasons for each. So sat down and made a list. And the list is kind of surprising even to me when I really thought about the 5 guns I just really could not let go for any reason whatsoever right now. And this is definitely subject to change later because my interests are constantly changing. But I think you're going to be really interested to see which ones I've chosen because it's all for very different reasons. Some for purely sentimental value, some are just purely for value, and others are just because I absolutely love the way they shoot or I shoot them a lot. And I don't know what I would do if I did not have access to them because of how much I do shoot. They've been like total workhorses. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into my list, man. But before we do that, if you like this channel and you like what we do here and you want to support us, good news, we don't have a Patreon, and I won't make you sit through paid ad reads for ball sack razors. We have thirdpinthreads.com. We sell merch. Get a hat, get a t-shirt. It's the best way to support us, and you get something for your cash. We'll throw in some stickers, some swag, and some candy. Ultimately, thank you if you do choose to support us. Let's go ahead and get into the video now. Number 5 on my list is my Alpha Clone AK. More specifically, this is an SLR 106 that I've had for years at this point. I've had a lot of them. This is the one I've had the absolute longest, super high round count. And as you can see here, it's had quite a lot of work done, and it's rocking a really cool, rare, jungle green, as they call it, set of Zenitco. This gun's gone through quite a few changes, different paint jobs. It's been to a lot of competitions. It's been in a ton of YouTube videos. It's an absolute Cadillac. Everything's been thrown at this thing. Tunable gas, suppressors, the chassis systems, optics, triggers, everything. It's rocking a really nice paint job from 11 Mile right now, and it's just flawless. This thing never has any malfunctions. It's an absolute tank of a gun. I really don't know what I would do without it. It's a true workhorse in my collection. Like when any other AK goes down, I know I can always count on my 106 Alpha Clone to just work and perform. Might not be the most accurate out to 500, but it's an absolute dream to own. It's my number 5. Number 4 on my list is my OG Barrel Polish Type 3. This gun is extremely sentimental to me, and it's got kind of a cool story. The short version is I found this thing at a pawn shop because of a tip I got from a buddy that told me it looked like a really cool gun, was at a local pawn shop, and the price was pretty unbelievable. I go in, I see this thing, instantly recognize it's a very special gun, and the price was incredible. I ended up buying it and got a bunch of mags and a gun case with it, and I remember my uncle absolutely fell in love with this gun, and he begged me for months and months and months to sell it to him. Well, the gun was so nice, I never shot it. I kept thinking, I'm not a collector. I don't really collect AKs, and I reluctantly sold it to my uncle. He's bought me a lot of guns over the years. I owed him that at least. He had this thing for like another 4 years and never put a single round through it, and I have been trying to buy it back from him for years. I instantly regretted it, and he's always told me, no, but you got first dibs if I ever want to sell it. So I haven't shot this thing or seen it in 4 years, and I ended up asking Rachel to marry me. We got married. And my dad actually convinced my uncle to sell him the gun so that he could give it back to me for a wedding gift. So he and my dad actually presented this gun back to me at the reception party after the wedding in front of all my friends. It was so special, definitely got me choked up, and I'll never ever forget that day. I'll never forget this gun and what it means to me and my uncle and my dad. They are huge influences to me and getting into guns and my taste in guns, and the fact that they kind of got together and gifted me a gun I've been trying to get back for years was really cool. Besides that, it's a very nice factory barreled Polish Type 3 on a Bulgarian SLR 100H receiver. It's a very nice gun with a very nice set of wood. I could never replace it, and I'm never going to because it's a forever gun. Number 3 on my list is my SBR Romanian Draco. This has to be the most perfect way to shoot a 7.62x39 AK, in my opinion. I bought this Draco from Atlantic Firearms years ago, had a lot of fun with it, and finally SBR'd it. It was the very first SBR that I ever did, and I'm so glad that this was the gun that I picked. I think a 12-inch Draco with a fixed stock trunnion is just pure sex. It's an amazing shooting gun. At 12 inches, 7.62 by 39 starts to perform magically. It's like the perfect balance of a short barrel with still having really good velocity. And I think the aesthetic of a Draco with that hooded front sight post, that combo block, and that wire stock when you do have that furniture on it is just amazing. It's a little Romanian commando. It's just so damn cool. I've tried all different kinds of things on this gun. I've tried Ultimax, chassis systems, wood, dongs, full dongs, chop dongs, everything. No matter what I do, it always looks sexy, and it is an absolute pleasure to shoot. It's got a chromed bolt and carrier, so the action is probably the slickest action that you've ever felt. It's got a really nice distressed paint job from 11 Mile that has been on there for a few years at this point and still looks awesome. Because of the paint job, it wears the dings and scratches very well, and with the right set of wood with trench art, it is kind of hard to beat. It honestly is one of the sexiest looking AKs that I own, hands down. Usually I say this is my favorite AK that I own, but on this list, it's only number 3.
Okay, all right, drop the hammer. Show off.
This is actually a good technique. No, for real, that's a technique. What you want to do, get it here like this. Spin it like this.
Yes.
Then you hold one-handed.
Is that the new Russia?
And it act like sling.
Is that the new Russian way?
Now I'm stuck.
Number 2 on my list is my full-length SLR 107 FR for a lot of reasons. For nostalgic reasons, this is probably the first nice AK that I bought way back in 2015. I learned through this AK what nice AKs are. Coming from like Wassers and like RAS 47s back in those days, this was the gun that showed me like, oh, okay, Arsenal makes really nice guns. I get why they're $1,100. Granted, this is 2015 times. I took this to my very first Red October. I fell in love with AKs because of the first Red October. This is the gun I shot at that match. It's had everything. Zenitco, Sure Shot, wood, everything under the sun has gone on this gun. All different types of suppressors, everything. And I gotta tell you, it's been an absolute tank all of these years, and it really makes me reminisce of the old times when good AKs were everywhere. They were relatively inexpensive back in those days. And again, I always go back to that very first Red October. It changed my life. Got me obsessed with AKs. This channel would not exist without that first Red October. This AK is the reason I went to that first Red October. So you could say my SLR 107, the one you're seeing right now, is the absolute genesis of this channel, my Instagram page, absolutely everything that I do here. It all started with this gun. I really cut my teeth on it. I know everything I know about AKs because of this gun. It's had a ton of rounds. It's never failed me, and it's just a sexy gun, man. These really were some of the best AKs that we ever got in this country. The whole 100 series from Bulgaria, and the 107s were arguably the absolute best. Number 1, I bet you didn't see this coming, is my Bulgarian 5.56 K101, made by none other than Gordon Tech. Some of you youngins don't know who that is, but some of you OGs in the AK world know that Gordon Tech made some of the best AKs that have ever been available in this country, and he's been long gone. He's still around, but he hasn't made AKs in a while. This gun is a factory barrel 5.56 Bulgarian 74, built on a Bulgarian milled receiver in the early 2000s. It's extremely rare. Only 250 of these things were made, and going by my serial number, 251, it is the absolute last one ever produced, and that's been confirmed by Gordon himself. What's insane about this gun is that I paid $700 for it. I had a viewer reach out at a New Mexico gun show. There were 3 of these sitting on a table. He had seen in a video that I was looking for one. He reached out, got me in contact with the FFL there that was selling them. I threw every credit card I had at the guy, and we got the deal done, and he shipped it to me. Whoever you are, random gun show guy, thank you so much for doing that, because it's been an absolute dream gun. These things sell for 4 or 5 times that, and I got it for $700. This gun has won every single match I've taken to this year. I've never taken first in so many competitions before, and it's all because of my $700 5.56 milled AK. That's like 24 years old at this point. This has been an absolute dream gun to own. It was a dream gun before I bought it. I've always looked for one, and there's so few of them in the country that it was almost impossible. It's better than a Sam 5 in almost every way, and I got it at an absolute fraction of the cost because of a viewer, and it's got a very special builder attached to it. This is my dream gun. It's a Holy Grail AK. I paid almost nothing for it compared to what it's given me over these last few years. I got a really cool video on it if you want to go see it, that I bought my dream AK. But that's it. That's my #1 AK, and I'm sticking to it. Some people might not agree with it, but if you had the year I had with this thing, you would feel the same way. That's my top 5.
You're finished, unload, so clear. If clear, hammer down. Flag it for me.
Bangkok can have that one.
Range is clear.
Modelo time!
Modelo time!